What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Season 2 of Track Talkers in the studio. We got my brother, Tyler Enticknap, ex-professional Supercross racer. We have our SMX insider on the line, Michael Antonovich. We are bringing you everything Alabama Supercross. And you know what we're starting it out with, boys?
What are we starting out with, Adam?
We are turning the season around, baby. Let's go! Dude, if you're a CHASE SEXTON fan, if you're a fan of Supercross, you better turn your hat backwards right now because it's freaking on, boys.
It is on. Freaking chop the points lead down to 8 points in one round.
Bro, I had so many people coming up to me and they're like, bro, Supercross is going to be boring. The whole thing is just going to be over. Coop's going to run away with it. I said, Bro, right when you think you know what's going to happen in Supercross, you don't. Facts, bro.
And that's why we love it.
That's why we love it. Okay. I mean, do you think it's metaphorical, bro? That CHASE Sexton put his hat on backwards on the podium,
Dude,
right?
he was just relaxed, cool, calm, and collected, and just doing his thing.
Bro, that's what he needed, bro. He talked about it in the interview that I did with him after the race. He's like, dude, my dad never let me wear my hat forward. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then he was talking about like, dude, I just gotta not worry about it so much. I put so much stress on it. My stress level was at 10 because I wanted to win so bad. And it's like, you just got to not care a little bit. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's not that he doesn't care.
Yeah.
It's just that when you let CHASE be a little more CHASE instead of just, you have to be CHASE Sexton, Team KTM Factory. You know what I mean? You can't robot these guys out if you want to bring the best in
I
them.
don't think he was roboting out, but what he said in the interview was like he was trying too hard at times and putting too much emphasis on winning everything. And he just needs to let it come. And if he has the speed to win, he's going to win. If he doesn't, then he's just got to back it down and not force it and just take the situations as they come and let them play out and not force anything. That's what I got from the interview anyways.
Well, my whole thing from the interview was kind of like, dude, I know when I was always high stress and I couldn't like let myself be myself, you weren't getting the best of me. No. You know, like there's no way I could give you all when I'm loose and I'm just like feeling it, you know what I mean? And relaxed and I can joke with you, you know, it's like all of a sudden everything just starts to come together and it's like, oh, that's the real Adam Enticknap. That's the real Seven Deuce Deuce. That's the guy we know and love. It's not the guy that has to nail the whoops and you're like, you know what I mean? And I think that's a huge deal. And him putting his hat on backwards on the podium was him not worried about what KTM's thinking. It's not worried about what anybody else is thinking. He's just throwing his hat on like he did when he was 10 years old, bro, and going out there and riding his damn dirt bike.
Yep, and just remembering why he's, chose this profession and why he's in it.
That's what we need, bro. We need hat backwards CHASE Sexton turning this season around all season.
The rest of the season.
Hey, Mike, what's your thoughts on the whole hat backwards thing? Are we overthinking this or what?
No, I think you're on it. I mean, let the boy be what he wants to be. He's showing that. And like,
cheers,
it's got to feel, it takes a while to get comfortable in your own skin and let everybody see it. And if that's what he's got to do right now, and that's what's going to make him the best, like, you better do it.
Yeah. I mean, that's facts. So we're going to dig right into this. I think you obviously asked a really good question in the press conference, Mike. What exactly was it about the fan that you asked? What was or close to the exact question?
So, back at Arizona, there was a air duct system that was coming off of the fan that's on the back of the radiator. You know, everybody knows on those KTMs, pretty much since Dungy got on the bike, they've had a fan mounted on the right side radiator to draw heat off in the Outdoor Nationals. It's a power part accessory, all that stuff.
Yeah.
They had put the same fan on CHASE's bike during Supercross and then built this kind of black material air channel to drive air back to the shock. But really what they were trying to do was get a little bit of cool air there, but they were trying to pull the heat off of that. So if you look at CHASE's right side panel, also on the motorcycle, there's a handful of holes that are drilled into there. And that was to let the heat get away from that. It's not that the heat from the engine was making the shock hot. It's not that like, all of that stuff was happening. It was straight up the setting that they had and how Chase was riding it. And it was building up so much energy into the shock that it was causing it to overheat. And KTM's thought was, hey man, let's try to do something to cool that area down in one way or another and see if that's what works. But then over the last few weeks, specifically over the break, they realized, and Chase said it in the press conference, it was not making the difference that they thought that it needed to be. And they've went away from that. He's had to change how he rides the motorcycle to not put it in that position. But I'm also pretty sure from talking to the team that they've made a few other small changes that they're confident that that shouldn't be an issue internally within the shock either.
Yeah, it sounded like when he commented on that specifically, it sounded like he got what he was looking for out of a new setting, but just in a different way.
And to me, also what I got out of his comments too was literally dude, I made a 5% change. I'm just going to ride that shit.
Yes.
Like an attitude, major attitude switch. Instead of dude, it's got to be better. It's got to be better. It has to be, or I can't do it. If you don't make this shock better, I can't do it. It went from that to kind of well, I mean, it made it a little better, but it didn't make it enough better for me to not win. I think we're close enough to where I just need to kind of make it happen.
Yes. I think to add on to that, he's in a spot where it seems mentally he's a lot more open to even if my bike is not perfect, I need to make it up and still race my dirt bike.
Yeah.
Because I'm not here. KTM's not paying me to find the best setting for me. KTM's paying me to race and to win championships and to be in the best position possible at the end of the night.
What were you going to say, Anton?
He did a really good job answering your question, Adam, and talking about how he wants to ride. He doesn't want to be so precise. He the MotoGP style comment that he said, and just how he was trying to be, riding the track in a certain way, and it doesn't work that way. And he realized that, and that he had to back it down. So exactly what you said. It's a combination of everything. It's some things with the motorcycle. It's some things with the way he was riding was pushing the motorcycle to a limit it didn't need to go to, but it's also putting him in a position that he didn't need to go to either. Yeah. He just needs to, just like the hat backwards, he knows where he's comfortable, get to where you're comfortable, and just keep hitting that same thing over and over and over.
Yeah. And another thing I watched in an interview with Lewis, I watched that whole interview. And another thing that I really think was important for him is, dude, he was just dude, I got beat down so bad so many weeks in a row that he was just kind of numb to it. He was over it. It was most of the time, it's okay, one time you get really beat down and you're okay, I'm thinking I got to change a little bit, but you don't want to change the process too much. And then twice you get beat down and you're starting to rethink things. Yeah. Chase got beat down so many times that he finally just let it go. And I think this is kind of what you're saying. He's just dude, it was so kind of crappy what happened to me that, oh well, dude, I'm just going to go out. The worst has already happened. So what could be worse than this? Let's go fucking get it done.
Yeah, exactly. I think but that's just the athlete that Chase is, and just where he's at in his career is he's a fighter. And when he got beat down the last 5 or 6 weeks, he got to that point, just like how you said, and he just made a choice to change. And it was either crawl up and go into a cave and fucking just try to finish out the Supercross season, or make a change and see what happens. And he made a change, and it was the right one. And now we're seeing it. Now the story is, I think, is, okay, what are we going to do in Seattle? Is this for real? Yeah. Or are we just going to go back to the same old shit?
Well, dude, I think it's I think it's for real, and this is why. And Anton, you tell me too. But I think I heard him say fucking 50 times. Excuse my language, sorry guys. I think I heard him say 50 times that he's better in the back half of the season.
Yeah, but the reality is you got to put pen to paper and put the results, and do the races.
Tell him.
Bro, everybody's got a race.
I like it, Ty. I like it.
I'm sick of talking it now. I want to see it.
Yeah.
We have a lot of races saying otherwise.
Yeah, but I mean, we also saw Cooper Webb be real human this weekend.
I mean, we checked out 2024 results on the last show, and Cooper Webb was right next to Jet Lawrence last season, and Chase Sexton was a click behind Cooper with maybe a few wins in there.
Hey, new year, new Chase, baby.
I mean, I hope so.
Well, hey,
same year, same Chase.
You got to put pen to paper, baby.
Yeah, you gotta put pen to paper.
All right, let's just segue right into that. Let's go Coop versus Chase. Okay, we talked a little bit about it, off the show. First moto, Coop tucks front, going to pass Chase.
Yep,
that's a big deal, right?
Huge,
like a big deal.
That set the tone for the whole night with that little bit of gap where Chase can figure himself out and just relax.
And I know we're overanalyzing, but that's what we do here. But when you go, just think about it from Chase's perspective and Coop's perspective, right? Chase's perspective, he knows Coop's there, goes to pass him, and tucks front, right? So from Chase's perspective, he's like, oh my gosh, this dude does the same shit I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or can. Where before, it felt like Cooper would always, he would just figure it out. It just seemed like he was bulletproof. Nothing bad could happen to him. He would just figure it out. And then from Coop's perspective, that's really the first time he's made that big of a mistake in that big of a situation.
Yes, but to kind of argue that point is we haven't seen Chase gain points on Cooper Webb up until this point. Whenever Cooper Webb gave Chase Sexton light, or when it was looking like Chase was going to keep the points lead or chop down Cooper Webb's lead, it would always fall on Chase in a negative way.
Yeah.
And this is the first night in the first, race this season. Maybe in the beginning, but the first night in a long time that it fell Chase's way and Chase did everything right. That's why we need to put pen to paper and see it again.
And if there's one thing that Cooper Webb's good at
is rebounding.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
I know what you're saying.
Anton, what's your thoughts, bro?
I just loved watching race 1 and then race 3. I just redid the night show again before we got on the phone. And again, same thing, to watch him make that little mistake and then see them spot each other as the race goes on. Chase is going through the sand section, Cooper's entering the whoops. They know where each other is at throughout that whole first moto.
Oh, yeah.
Chase goes on to torch it, get that race win, sets the tone for the night, just like you guys said. And then for Cooper, I hate to say that the rest of the night didn't really matter, because race 3 100% mattered for the effort that he gave and for how Chase reacted to all of that. But the points were already decided for the night. Cooper went down, he got back to where he got down to, but Chase got the dub, and then it was on from there and all of that. But then I really thought that race 3 was interesting because, Chase could have engaged with him. He could have done all that stuff. Chase even did make a mistake. That's how Cooper gets the lead. Chase spun up coming out of that corner. Cooper makes the pass. They kind of dice back and forth for about half a lap, and then Chase, all right, man, go ahead. Do you think that same thing plays out 3 weeks ago when Chase is in? Fuck, I got to get this going right now.
0%
or does he?
Chance.
You know what I mean? So, this is a very big learning lesson, not learning lesson, but indicator of Chase not wanting to make the same mistake twice. Good for him. Good for him that he identified it, didn't fall into it.
Yeah.
Kind of walked back the comment that he made after Dallas, I'm here to race for the win no matter what, Well, no, dog, you got the big win tonight. Got to take a loss sometimes to win the war. The second thing, though, that I just thought makes it fun is that in race 3, Cooper is making it a point to get up front with him, because he's right next to him in race 2 as they go into the second turn. When Jason comes in on Chase, kind of leaves him no room. Cooper's the one that gets the worst of that, actually, because he's at the top of the berm, and then they go on through the rhythm. But he lost ground to Chase right away. So then there's race 2 for the night already being dictated within the first 45 seconds of it. But how he rebounded for race 3, knowing how, the personality we see from Cooper and how fired up and mad he had to be after that initial crash in race 1. And then to be like, oh, I'm coming back to show you I'm just as fast as you. I'm going to put the fastest lap time in, even though Cooper acts like they don't matter. And I'm going to get out here and run away from it just to end my night. Like, slam dunk, got the win. I'm going to go on to Seattle, ride this high through the week at the Go Farm, and I'll see you again in 7 days and we'll square off again.
Yeah.
I love that we're about to see more and more and more of these like head-to-head fights. Like, this almost starts to feel like I don't watch boxing or like UFC and that stuff, but this is the same kind of billing that stuff gets when two guys that are just going to keep going over and over and over, and you see how good they really are. Different settings, different scenarios, different tracks, different stages that they're at. This is great. Is that not what you want to see in the back half of the season? And it's just heads up racing from here on out. No more triple crowns, no more nothing. 20-minute main events. Like, let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's gonna be sick, dude.
Yeah, it's setting up to be really good.
Like, because Coop had a bad weekend, we're now about to have the rounds that we all wanted. You know? I mean, it can all change again, though.
Yeah, I mean,
you
it's
don't
so
know.
simple. Like, let's just say Cooper Webb wins in Seattle.
Yeah.
You know, the points lead is already, it's back up to 11. If Chase gets second.
All right, well, let's move on to a popular subject. Jason Anderson, CHASE Sexton. What do you guys think about the takeout?
I felt like when I watched it live, I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Like, that was a hard hit. Jason came in hot on Chase.
Yeah.
Like, I was really surprised. Like, if Chase wasn't...
You're talking about the first corner one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
If Chase wasn't as strong as he was, I think if Jason hit anybody else, even including Coop,
yeah,
they're in the berm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And Chase said he's seen him.
Yes.
At the last second. So that helps a lot too.
It does and it doesn't. But also Chase said that he tried to pinch down and somehow Jason still was able to sneak through.
Bro, if you rewatch it, his foot peg almost clipped that tough.
You know that's how you do it though.
Oh, 100%.
Like
get skinny, baby.
Yeah, you're going on the edge of the track.
Yep. Okay, moving forward. Chase blows Jason's goggle strap to the top row in Bama.
Where?
After the finish line? Did you not see that?
I don't think I saw that on TV.
What? Anton,
or I don't remember it.
Tell this guy what's going on.
Yeah. This is the one where like then the rest of the night,
why there's the controversy.
They got Chase worried. Yeah, they got Chase worried if Jason's going to come back and nuke him.
Bro.
Race 1.
Yep.
Oh.
Dude, how did you not see this? Look, that's your job right now. Look this up on Instagram. We'll pull it up on the screen too.
Okay.
Was it on Supercross Live?
Yeah. I'll admit the first turn
Pete
one,
Fox
like the
posted it,
Jason
too.
getting skinny.
Yep.
I didn't see that. Like, I didn't see that initial like contact between the two of them.
Yeah.
But then when the second one happened, when Chase got Jason, all I heard was the crowd reaction because I was on the backside of one berm and they were on the next one. There was the one where they were going to start coming towards me.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw them both go into the turn, and then I just saw Chase pop up. And I was like, oh, okay, well, at least he stayed up from it. But then rewatching the replay today, kind of looked like Chase. I mean, he was definitely going to go for a bump, but maybe he was going a little faster than he thought he was going to go into that corner because
100%.
As he lands off the finish line and hops in, like he's pinned.
100%. Jason had no idea how close Chase was. And he was going to chop, on his front wheel that hard. Like, Jason's smart enough to know just to lock it up.
That's what I'm saying. Chase was aggressive, bro.
Yeah.
My boy put some sauce on that one.
He saw the light and was like, I'm getting this done.
Well, because that was for the lead, right? Or was that? No, that was for second because AP was out front.
Yeah, that was for second.
AP was out front, and that was for second.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was no, Coop wasn't behind him at that point. That was after Coop
Coop
crashed.
was way back.
Yeah.
Coop crashed, and then he kind of seen that, and then AP was in second. And I think Mookie did pretty good that moto too, though.
Yeah,
Mookie
he was starting to climb up.
There.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, that was one of those passes where I wasn't expecting that of Chase. Like I was kind of caught me off guard a little bit. I was like, oh shit, okay, Chase, what's up, baby? We gonna take some fools out. But it all kind of made sense to me after I seen the Jason Anderson bump.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? And then you see that. You know, and everybody's having a tiffy about like, oh, Jay took him out. It's like, bro, we go tit for tat here, bro. This is how we do it in Supercross. You hit me, I'm going to hit you back.
Yes, and we're going to squash it.
Exactly.
If you're not going to be a little bitch about it,
beef squashed.
Yeah, we're squashing
Jason,
it.
I will say this, though. I will say this. If there's one thing I give Jason Anderson kudos on, like that motherfucker would take a hit and he won't say shit.
No, but that's what I'm saying, though. But if you say shit to Jason,
he'll be pissed.
Yeah, he'll be pissed for a long time.
Yes. But like,
you almost have to wonder.
If Jason hits you and then you take out Jason, Jason's cool. He's like, bro, I get
square.
it. Yeah, we're good.
Uh-huh.
No biggie. Go ahead, Mike.
But see, if you thought about how the rest of the night went, like I heard it from the in-stadium announcers and then I kind of heard it on the TV when I rewatched it. And like, I'll admit, I was thinking the same thing too. Chase had to watch his six for the rest of the night wondering like, yo, is Jason going to get me back?
1000%.
Yes.
Just because they were square doesn't
yo, just,
mean...
hey, dirty me now in this Triple Crown and let's just get it over with. Because what if Jason waits for him 2 rounds in and fuck, now it's 3 points between them. Oh, sawed your front wheel off. Go ahead, Coop. But as I thought that, then I rewatched tonight and then Coop kind of leaves Jason no room at the top of that berm before the whoops, and then Jason went down, so that's just another strike and a terrible night for him.
Yeah.
And that sucks for Jason.
And it was a weird crash. Did you see the way, like, because Coop kind of went inside and left him no room, but like then Jason got squirrely over that rut and his like front wheel tapped his rear wheel, so it was kind of like a weird crash.
Yeah.
But man, is Jason getting the short end of the stick right now.
Dude, he's having a rut.
And was fast too.
He had a 12th in the last one. That's rough.
Dude's fast too. He looked fast.
Dude, I had higher hopes for him out of qualifying. I was like, oh, dude, it's going to be a good night for Jason.
It was going to be a good night.
Yeah, but he went 5, 8, 12. Like, he just didn't get it going. Like,
well, when you get your
crashing
the
rhythm,
when you get your front wheels sawed off, and then you're starting drama, it's hard to focus on the race.
That does something to your confidence.
Oh yeah.
I do have to say, like, although it doesn't look like much and like it's not much, but 22nd, 20th, because I don't think there was everybody in the 450 main, maybe at the last one for those third ones. You know how that goes. But like, if you rewatch the crash, it's a good one because he just like is lost in the rhythm and just boop, and he's off, and he's in the rough stuff that's on the side of the track that does not feel good to jump off at 25 miles an hour.
No.
And even when he stands up, he shakes his head like, damn it. Like, he's mad at that point. To charge back to 12th when nothing matters, it's a pretty good ride. It's not bad. That's some passes. Like, you can't do anything about it, but like, at least he gave the effort, knowing how, no offense to Jason, but how he's been sometimes. Like, he could have just totally like, Rango, get on the bike, we're going in.
But
he knows not to do that. Contract year, all that.
Michael and Adam, I'm going to give you guys a scenario, though. Starting the season, and I said, Jet Lawrence is going to be out, Hunter Lawrence is going to be out, Eli Tomac is going to be out. Who else am I missing? Those 3. Let's just say those 3 are out in the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
How many wins or podiums are you giving Jason Anderson?
3 or 4.
You know what I'm saying?
Couple.
You would think he'd be on the podium every single weekend with those 3 guys out.
Yeah. I mean, I know this is jacked up, but I would have thought too, like, he probably would have, been right around where Roxon was, or maybe even better.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I would have thought. That's what I would have expected.
That's what I would have expected out of Jason.
Was right around where Kenny was at all the time. What Kenny's doing, that's what I expected Jason to do.
Yeah, get a win here, fighting, top 5 every single weekend.
Yep.
And it's been super up and down.
All right, well, let's move on.
Hold on.
What?
Do you guys know anything, like, other than Kenny's shoulder popping out? Like, do we know any more?
AC separation. His shoulder didn't pop out. AC separation on his shoulder, and then in practice he yanked it again and was super jacked up.
So he injured it last Friday?
Something like that, yeah.
And then he kind of re-aggravated it this weekend, and that's why he kind of cut practice short.
Yep.
Damn.
You know what's funny is there was already some rumblings amongst riders on Saturday morning, like, yo, Kenny hurt? Is Kenny hurt? Anton, go find out if Ken's hurt. something looks off with the shoulder. He didn't look very good on press day yesterday. And then to hear that come out by third practice session, I was like, oh, wow. It's funny how much you guys can spot of each other setting on the fan bike or the laps that you do during press day, and how much you guys can pick up like, oh, is he wounded or not? Oh, there's the guy. Uh-oh, there's my chance.
Well, let's put it this way. Okay. Not to mention how much we all actually know that everybody
and talk to each other.
That everybody else don't know.
Yeah.
Like, we all know a lot of stuff that we can't talk about right now.
Mm-hmm. And too, like, we're late in the season. I don't care if you're winning the championship or 22nd in the championship. You're kind of fucked up.
Yeah, you did something. You did something. Let's put it this way, bro.
You got a broke finger. You got a bruise. You got a torn something. You got a tweaked ankle. Something.
Dude, it's true. I mean, I don't know if it's real or not, and I don't know who spotted it, but I spotted it, didn't say anything. Indianapolis, my boy Chase's whole arm was wrapped up, dog. Did you not see that in the press conference?
No.
Dude's whole arm was wrapped. So, don't know what that was.
Maybe a fresh tattoo, dude.
Maybe he got a fresh tat. That's what we chalked it up. I don't know.
I can't remember who it was, but this weekend I saw, like, you know, the glue that when you do a heavy medical tape like that, kinesiology tape that leaves, somebody had a heavy just residue, and I'm like, oh, you're not hurt? How come there's that much of that stuff on your hand? Like, I can't remember who it was.
Even if you do, it's all good. Speaking of injuries, Max Anstie breaks his leg.
Damn. Dude, I was watching that in just like disbelief. And then what pisses me off, with the replay, they're saying that he broke his leg dismounting off the bike. No way, dog. I literally have broke my leg the exact way that Max did. Casing and just that frame case of that tall 3.
Yeah.
Boom. Snap. Right there. Doesn't matter if I ejecto-cedo. Doesn't matter if I ride my bike off. I broke my leg right on top of the jump. And dude, I saw the commercial like 3 or 4 times. And they kept on saying, oh yeah, you see I jumped off this bike. He broke his leg there. I'm like, no, dude. That case on a fucking 65-foot triple in.
You mean quad?
Was it a quad?
Yes.
Oh,
get on the fucking train, bro.
I didn't see what.
Yeah, table over.
Yeah, it was a 3 out of the corner.
I thought it was a 3 in.
No.
Oh, okay.
2.
It looked like 3, it because it was so zoomed in.
They were going 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they zoom it way too far in. I guess it does look a little jacked for you because you don't really get to see it like we do.
Yeah.
Like we get to see the whole thing all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But it was, so you go 3 out of the corner, 3, and then table over 2, or you could go 2 out of the corner, 3, 4.
Yes.
And that 4 was, they tamed it. The 4 lip was just down. And they were having a wide open seat bounce it.
Oh, that's why he cased it like that.
Yes.
Because, dude, like, if you made it steep, it's way better to case a jump steep.
Yeah, but let's put it this way.
The thing had some pop on it on Friday.
Yeah,
because Jay Coop was the only guy to do it, and he was way, way up there when they were doing it. And then I was watching.
They didn't want anybody to do it.
Yeah, they probably
Yeah, and then I came around on Saturday, and I'm like, yo, that face is mellow. But then to see the guys still doing it, and like RJ said in the press conference, he knew, like, hey, for 4 laps, I was keying myself up to go do it.
And then he watched, and then he watched Max break his leg right in front of him. He was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And then Max breaks his leg and he's like, I'm not doing it the rest of the night. Bro, how many times has that happened to you?
Bro, so many.
I'm like, I'm going to huck this 3 out of the corner. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Red flag. I'm like, where'd it happen? Oh, on the 3 out of the corner. I'm done.
You know how many press days I've either hucked a triple or waited to do a triple? Like, there's been some fucking dumb shit on press day where you huck it and then it's gone or prepped and you're like, why did I even do that?
So pissed. So Max Anstie broke his leg. Mumford, what happened to Mumford? You said he broke his leg on TV.
He didn't. We didn't get the commercial on how he broke his leg, but we got the side of the track where he was riding or I don't know, he was still on his bike and then he was over by the Asterix or Alpenstar medical crew and he was holding his leg just like Max.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
No leg break, though. No leg break.
Oh, really?
No, bone contusion, like bone on bone, the bruise. And because trust me, I was worried about it because he came through the whoops after whatever happened and was already unbuckling his boot.
Dude,
I'm done. Get me out of here. Cut the track. Got down the start straight away and then just went straight over the lane. And I was like, dude, is that the same leg that he just did at Dallas a couple months ago? Like, at the SMX race. So I was pretty worried about that. Because Carson was having a great night.
Dude. Fantastic. My boy, bro.
He was on the top of the leaderboard for a little bit.
Hey, bro.
I mean, for like
Reeve,
20 seconds.
Your Reeve is bum, bro. Star Racing about to pluck another one of his 250 riders. Like, straight up, Mumford is going to get a ride. Like, a big ride, for sure, dude. I mean, if he doesn't, they must have a fantastic... And I know your Reeve has a good program over there at the Quad Lock Honda team. Like, that bike looks like it's working really good.
Yes.
But do not be surprised if Homeboy gets plucked next year. I mean, dude, he is
I wouldn't be surprised
fast.
either.
Dude, I'm watching him. He's getting the starts. He's fast AF. He almost went and hunted down RJ for a minute until he got a little tired.
Yeah, PC or Star could pick him up, no problem.
Yes, you give this kid another year, bro. He's in contention to win the championship.
Dude, just make him a third HRC freaking Honda 250 guy.
There you go. Next year, he's in contention to win the championship. The year after that, he'll win if he's healthy for 2 years.
Yeah.
Mark my words.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's cool? So we can look back at this podcast, see how that aged. Okay. Tom Vialle versus RJ, bro. Is this what we should have? I mean, is this what we should have expected? 1v1
that nobody billed either.
You know,
it was not mentioned in any preseason stuff.
No, it wasn't.
No,
Number one versus number one, and that's what we got now.
I know.
Like, I was like, after the first one, I'm like, I'm out on Tom, dog. He's done, dog. He's gonna get 10th in the championship.
Man, I should know this, but how many points out is Seth?
Seth is still a good ways, but I mean, don't get me wrong. Seth is still in the championship.
Bro, because he literally just went 9-1-1.
Yeah, but we have 2 showdowns left. So there's no way that Seth Hammaker is out of the championship.
Especially with Tom Vialle's whoop speed.
Well, with Tom Vialle's starts, you have something else to say. And Tom Vialle looking good in the whoops, bro.
Yeah, because they're
Anton, back me.
Hey, from what I heard from Chase, dude, they cut down the whoops major.
They did. And Tom said the same.
They did, but Tom's good in the whoops, bro. I would bet I'm going out on a limb here, bro.
You're just saying that because Max Anstie broke his leg.
No, I got to give kudos where, I mean, he ain't in Max Anstie's ballpark. That's a whole different level, dude. That's like, you know what I mean? That's like talking a whole different level. This is just against the rest of the 250s.
Got you. Okay.
Max Anstie's like 2 levels above in the whoops.
Oh, okay.
Honestly.
All right.
Dude, but I will beg to differ. I would think I seen Tom Vialle go faster than RJ and safer than RJ, better in the whoops than RJ Hampshire. Tom Vialle is better in the whoops than RJ Hampshire.
Dude, the video.
Yeah, I give you that in race 1.
The video on the Track Talkers Instagram of his fast lap where he like skipping the whoops and then literally like drops a wheel and then somehow just makes it work and then triples out.
Bro,
if you didn't know better, like there's no way he did that on purpose. And I guarantee you there's probably like 50,000 fans are like, oh, dude, RJ's whipping right now. I'm like, dude, no, he's literally just
he said
hanging
he felt
it out.
good. Dude, you know what I just thought of? That would be the, like,
What?
would have saved James Stewart's career. Like, bro, if you gave whatever RJ has to hang on to fucking saves, like you gave that piece to James Stewart, nobody would have ever beat him and he never would have lost. Like, ever. I've never seen a guy like RJ Hampshire save more saves than that fool right there.
I mean, that's
RJ has an ability to make a save that is upper echelon, bruh.
I mean, that's maybe his talent.
That's his talent, dude.
For sure.
I've never seen a guy that can get that out of control and be that in control.
Yeah, but I've also seen that guy hit the ground and get back up.
Yeah, but bro, for a normal person, like say you have 10 mistakes, you're hitting the ground 5 out of 10, right? RJ Hampshire, 0.5 out of 10, bro. Like, that's how many he's pulling off. Anton, back me up here.
You know the very, very outside knobbies on your front tire?
Yes.
Like the very smallest, tiny ones?
Yes.
I have photos of, like, over the years, multiple times of RJ coming through corners, sand, hard pack, clay, doesn't matter. On those. No just other contact patch or anything, just those. And I'm like, as I'm looking at it through the viewfinder and holding the shutter down and watching this happen in front of me, I'm like, oh my God, he kept going. He's down the straightaway now. Like, what the hell just happened?
Bro.
Can I hit you with the top 5 in points real quick as we talk about
Hit me.
Yes.
this
Hit
250
me.
East region?
Yep.
Okay, we got Tom Vialle leading right now with 99 points. RJ Hampshire second with 89. Seth Hammaker third with 86. Anstie, who is, he's got a little bit of time off. Do you think he's done, or do you think Max comes back? Just as an aside.
I heard he was pretty upbeat, like after.
Surgery or no surgery?
I don't know. Don't know yet. I heard he was pretty upbeat, like after the crash, like it was okay.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I say 4 to 6 weeks, get ready for outdoor.
That's what I say too. But I don't know. I mean, it all depends on what the x-rays say. If he gets it plated, he's coming back. If he don't, he ain't coming back. That's the way it is.
I say complete opposite.
So you think if he broke his leg and he doesn't get it plated, he's going to come back and race this season?
Breaking your leg and getting it plated means it broke all the way through.
Yeah, but at least you got the plate to keep it sturdy.
So you have trauma. You have the incision that's going to basically take 6 weeks just to heal up. If it's not broke all the way through and it's like a hairline crack and everything's in place, that could be 4 weeks.
All right, you're wild for that one. Keep going.
Damn, Dr. Ty just on the case, because that all made sense. Like, I could totally see he wasn't freaking either. Like, Doc Bodner came over and talked to him for all of that stuff. Like, he was not in intense, like, crazy freak out pain. So it might not be that bad of a break. So yeah, you might be onto something there, Ty. All right, Nate Thrasher and Max are both tied for 78 points. And I just want to say this: Chance Hymas is sixth with 66 points, and you look at his points, he only has 1 point from the Indianapolis showdown from when he crashed over the tunnel. You throw Chance of 15 in there, and he's like maybe 12, whatever. He's within that thing, too, because he would have just as many points as Nate does. And as you asked Nate in the press conference on, maybe it was Dark Side, but somebody asked Nate in the press conference on Saturday, he still feels like he's in the title.
Yeah, that was
me.
That was me.
It was you. I was making sure it was you. Yeah. Like, there's enough people to keep this thing interesting, but realistically, it looks like it's going to boil down to Tom versus RJ.
So how many points does Tom have, and how many points does Thrasher have right now?
99 for Tom, 78 for Thrasher. 21 points.
I mean, dude, with the two, if we didn't have two showdowns still, I would absolutely X-name Thrasher.
The showdowns are your money makers. Because you can lose or gain a lot of points.
But the problem with that is if I had to put money on Thrasher or Tom to do better in the showdowns, I'll put my money on Tom because he starts like a mofo.
I know, but Nate Thrasher's such a wild card.
I know, dude. When he's on, that's what I said to him. Like, he is so good when he is on.
Yes.
But when he's off the track.
Hey, but it was his finger, supposedly, and it's like night and day better from this week off.
Dude, I don't know, bro. Hymas, I know I'm changing the subject, but what's the deal with Hymas, bro? Like, I'm like, hell yeah, I see some light. He looks so good in free practice. He's like number 1 on the board.
Dude, you know exactly what's up with Hymas, bro. Look at the whole picture. He had no preparation coming into this. He was on the turn track 2 or 3 weeks before the first round. That's exactly what you get. You get inconsistent results. Of course, he's got talent because he's going to pull it off one weekend, not pull it off the next.
He hasn't pulled it off all weekend. What weekend has he done good?
I thought he did pretty good in like the first or second round, I thought.
No. Anton, back me on this.
Bro.
No.
Looking at it, just on points because they don't have the results, 16 points, 16 points, 18 points. So just outside the podium, but like around top 5 potential. But like, yeah, for a factory Honda guy, knowing what he did last year, making all of the progress, we would think he'd be podium guy every week. But I agree with you.
Go ahead.
I agree with you though, Ty. Like, he had no prep. The week of Tampa, the Honda guys were down there, and I remember Lars saying when we were in Phoenix, like, "Hey, my race, we'll find out."
Yeah, I just expected more of him by now.
Not really.
I did, especially in a triple crown where the races are only 10 minutes.
You know how short these weeks are?
Doesn't matter,
really
bro.
Can't gain anything.
Your chance, high miss, dog.
Yes, it does matter. That's
Obviously
why
matters.
off seasons are so important.
Yes, obviously it does.
If you don't do the right things in the off season, you could go backwards.
Okay.
Hold on. We are not moving on unless we're talking about Maximus Vohland, dude.
Okay, hold on. Before
he
that,
was ripping in race one.
What's delicious on a hot day? An ice cold twisted tea, bro.
Ice cold twisted tea, bro.
What are you having? Half and half? Peach?
Dude, the half and half is bomb. I actually don't drink, but I have drank twisted tea, and it was surprisingly
So you do
good.
drink?
Kind of.
Okay. The half and half is so lethal. You could just drink them, and you don't even know you're drinking. Twisted tea.
This is true.
Go to the liquor store, grab some twisted tea. Okay. Moving on.
Maximus Vohland.
Okay, what about him?
Bro, talk about a guy that slid underneath the radar, no expectations this season, and just up battling for the podium spot, race one.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know, dude. I don't know. I really do think, I'm not disagreeing with you. I don't know. Max is doing great. He's just not.
I mean, yes,
he right in that.
He went
right
4,
in that
6,
middle.
10.
He's right in that like middle, like not quite in the spotlight, but definitely not out of it.
Yeah, but he didn't even race all last year.
I know, dude.
Remember,
he was handbrake.
Bro, he was
with a clutch.
He was signed with PC a year ago or 2 years ago, right? And he just had a horrible injury, and now he's coming back. I think this is a huge win.
I mean, dude, this whole season's been a big win for him. His bike setup looks good. He looks fit. He looks like he's riding good. I mean, everything over there is clicking.
Yes.
Now, here's a question.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do if he gets off FXR?
He's going to bring the handbrake with him.
I mean, I don't think, does he though?
Yeah.
I think he almost has to.
I don't think that's his, bro. I think FXR probably made that.
Why would he get off of FXR?
I mean, you got to make him a bike. Like, not a bike, but you got to make him a brake. That's wild.
It's just, I mean, bro, I think you're...
Let's talk about his riding a little bit more, though. Starts have been good. Starts have been solid.
You're a dick.
What else? Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You literally just flip. Oh, bro, what if he gets off the bike? And then now you're going to be like, oh, well, let's talk about his riding.
Okay, talk about it then. Talk about it. Tell me, finish your thought.
Bro, I think it's easier now that he's done it and he has the contraption than actually
it's true.
Making it you got pictures.
For the very first time.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I mean, he's figuring it out.
Yep.
And he's making it work.
He is.
Just if you actually think about that for a second, to train your nervous reactions to work with your fingers to as a reflex instead of your foot.
And clutch it at the same time, because I used to use a lot of clutch.
You know what I'm saying?
And he's good in the whoops, so if he's good in the whoops, he's clutching it in the whoops.
Yeah. And in the first lap, I saw him totally just lock everything up and then cut down and then still make it happen.
So he had to pull the whole contraption plus the clutch in.
Everything in.
I think I did see him mess up though. Where did he mess it up and he went off the track because he missed it? I think he messed up. I got to look back, see if I can find the part.
But dude, just because he literally works like this.
I know, it's wild.
That's gnarly.
That's wild. And he's good at it.
I mean, he just got 6
bro,
in a triple crown.
Hey, talent's talent.
Talent's talent, bro.
You got it, you got it.
You got it, you got it.
If you don't, go home. All right. Seth Hammaker. 911. Is this a case of emergency or is this not?
Bro, I think Alabama was his night. And
bro, that boy is He's fast. I want to say an F word, but he's fucking fast.
Yes.
Like, dude, I haven't seen anybody except for Danger Boy ride that aggressively on the track.
I know. If he wouldn't have crashed and just like literally washed
1-1-1.
Yes. Dominated.
Like that, what happened at freaking the showdown in Indy changed his life.
Yes.
Like the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
That kid is, look out. It's on. I mean, aggressive riding, backing down when he needs to back down on the jumps, not hitting the quad, then pulling the quad out when he's pulling it out, riding over his head for a second when he knows he can, then putting it back to where using certain sections where he's pushing and then pulling back. And he looks really solid on the bike. The bike setup looks good, which means he's riding really, really good because he's making the bike look good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm picking up what you're throwing down.
I mean, I could see Seth Hammaker winning the championship. No problem. Not even a question.
I mean,
like
I think
if I had some money and I could bet, I'd put it on Hammaker.
you just said you would bet on Vialle like 5 minutes ago.
No, I did not.
Yes, you said
No, all
if
I
I
said
had
was
money,
Vialle
I would
looked-
bet on Vialle because he's
To
such
do
a good
better
starter.
in the showdowns. Over who did I say? Thrasher?
Yes.
Did I say better in the showdowns over Hammaker? Hell nah. Anton, back me up here, bro.
Bro, Anton, you don't got it.
Hit the home stenographer.
Don't hit the smoke that Addie's smoking.
Bro, I did not ever say that Seth Hammaker wouldn't beat Tom Vialle in a showdown. Nope. You can go back. You can rewind it. That's what's so great about this. I recorded the whole entire show for you. Thrasher, WTF, bro. What's up with this guy?
Bro, he's just figuring out his finger, dude. He got hit. It wasn't his fault on the practice track. We'll never know who, but he's
or
figuring
how
out.
Or why?
Yeah, or why. Maybe we need to hire some flaggers for the Star Racing test track.
I mean, to be honest, we actually do know, but we can't say. So I don't know what to tell y'all. But it is what it is. It happened. He's getting better. But dude, how many years in a row have we seen this from Thrasher? Like, okay, let's not even worry about what's happening with Thrasher or why.
Mhm.
Okay. Tell me, Anton and Ty, does he continue to do this? We have a week off. We're going back to Seattle.
Mhm.
Does he continue to do this afterwards?
Mm.
Can he keep this up, or is this a one and done kind of Nate Thrasher deal that we got? Like this is his Atlanta. Instead of Atlanta, it's Bama.
Mhm.
And now we're back to, damn, he got 7th. And something happened. What do we think?
It's a hard one. Like,
Mm.
because there are some times with Nate that they're not his fault, and there are other times where it's 100% Nate's fault. Like when he goes flying through the air in Arizona, a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Like that one was on him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then that sets the whole restart process of, ain't going to see him for 6 months. All right, he's back. There's the win. And he's gone again. What was the stat you said, Ty? How many race wins but no championships? And he has the same number as who?
He has the same amount of wins as RJ Hampshire with 6 now.
And no chance.
And how long is his career?
I don't know that number because I couldn't put
A
in all
handful
the
of
injury.
years.
Yes,
Not that many.
Yes, a handful of years.
Like not that many starts. Yeah.
Not that many starts because he like somehow always like wins and then gets hurt, or like half a season and then comes back and then wins one each year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And
But definitely has the talent.
I might be wrong. This was a couple years ago.
Mhm.
Didn't he rip off a couple like when we did those residencies like in Atlanta? Or something? I think he won like
It was Atlanta.
Yeah.
He won 2
so
in
like,
a row
Mhm.
that was Doug. That was 4 years ago.
as a rookie. That was his rookie season, right?
Mm.
I'm like
Mhm.
99% sure that was his first year of Supercross, and Thrasher, because I remember
I
the
think you're
whole
right.
mix-up of like Star picked him up at the last minute over maybe KTM or something, and there was like some crazy stuff
I
that
don't think
went
there
on
was-
to get Thrasher,
I
and
don't
then he
think
comes
there-
out rookie season and pulls out
Yes,
2
you're
dubs.
right, because there was like a trade and all that stuff,
Yep.
wasn't there? Like,
Yep.
hey, we're gonna Yep.
I don't think he won it multiple times. I thought that race was just crazy because he went through the LCQ, won the LCQ, and then won the main event.
And then won the next one at the same place.
Like a couple days later.
Yes, I'm pretty sure, dude. I could be wrong.
I'm pretty sure. Like, Doug,
let's
it's been
put it
4
this
years.
way.
And
Our fans are going to tell us in the comments. We know that for a fact.
Hell yeah,
you guys are on it every time. Everything we say wrong or do wrong, I love it. Keep it going.
Hey, the truth tellers.
Yes, the truth. Yes. The truth tellers are in the comments.
They taught me how to bet, dude.
They did. They taught us how to bet and everything, even though we can't.
I know.
Cannot bet.
I know how to play the odds now for sure.
Yes,
just from you guys.
Yes, from you guys, and we love you guys.
All
right.
Hey, but
somebody teach me how to paint a car in the comments, please.
Dude, they will.
Hey, they will.
They will.
Hey, but going back because you didn't hear my take on Nate Thrasher, I don't think he does because this is why. Okay. With winning the Triple Crown, he went 3-3-2. Okay. You know who was in front of him? RJ Hampshire, Seth Hammaker, and Tom Vialle in different, orders. But those three guys right now are going to signify this championship fight. And I think Nate Thrasher is just going to be a floater or a fill-in when one of those guys mess up.
Yeah, and let's just hope that Nate Thrasher can finally use this Supercross as a momentum getter. That maybe not go for the championship, but give me some momentum to bring into outdoors that then brings into SMX, that then brings into a possible championship push for next year.
What I would love to see out of Nate Thrasher is from here on out, not being off the podium. You know what I'm saying?
Amen, my brother.
If we can do that, we are ripping.
This might just be ignorance on my part, but do you have a big portfolio of Nate Thrasher outdoor results to work from? Do you have a lot of memories right offhand where you're yo, homie rips outdoors? Because I still feel I don't really know how fast he is outdoors.
I feel like
Nobody does.
I feel like Nate Thrasher sucks on outdoor.
That could be because he don't race outdoor that much.
There's no results. Yeah.
I don't think he's been healthy enough to race outdoor. That's what
I mean. I don't think there's enough to really know.
I'm trying to think of an outdoor race where I could think of Thrasher, but everything's coming back up with I
don't know.
He just got
Daytona
and
let's put it this way.
Tracks.
Let's put it this way.
Nate Thrasher speedway tracks. He's gonna be in there.
Yes, but I don't remember him winning any outdoor races. Tell us in the comments. All right. Big news of the weekend, boys. You thought we were gonna forget? We didn't, bruh. The danger zone, dog.
Hey, born to be a racer.
My boy gets arrested for doing donuts in a parking lot, dog.
Is that what actually happened?
That's what I heard. That's the vibes, bro. Stunt driving.
Okay, this is funny story. Okay,
I
was at Oatfield.
Yep. At
the Mammoth and Loretta Lynn qualifier this weekend.
Yep.
I was there Saturday.
Yep.
I was there with my buddy Cole and Jax. And he was texting his friend Quinn or whatever. And he's like, dude, Deegan got arrested. And I was like, no way. And then he sent me that photo of the police report and shit. And then his friend says, dude, he was wheeling on his dirt bike. And I was like,
oh, that's wild.
And then, more and more progressed and stuff.
Yeah.
And then we finally got the story, but it was like wildfire.
Yeah. I mean,
dog, hilarious.
Even that guy at work when we were doing our safety meeting this morning mentioned it to me.
Yeah. But it's okay, here's my take on this. Okay. You're 18 years old. You possibly could have $1 million in the bank.
Oh, bro.
Okay. In the bank. I'm not saying
yes.
Yeah, in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Chilling in the bank. Taxes paid. $1 million chilling in the bank.
Got
possibility.
Move on.
Okay. He's got 1.8 million followers on Instagram. He's got another 1.9 on TikTok. Okay. We got an Audi R8 with our own money. We're 18 years old. Bruh. You know what I was doing in the Ranger at 18, bruh?
With some, no offense, to Deegan's friends, but with some probably dipshit that's hyping him up.
Oh, 1,000%
in the passenger seat, being like, "Hey, bro, let's swerve, dog. Let's get this on TikTok. Let's swerve."
Just some straight homie hopper, not looking out for Danger Boy's best interest.
No.
Because we all got those homies.
Yeah.
Right?
Bro, let's get the donuts on R8 on Snapchat, dog.
Bro, what are you going to do at 18 with an R8, bruh? You're going to start shit, dude.
Yes. Did you see the police report?
Yes.
I mean,
Did you hear about the two fake IDs?
No, I didn't.
Oh, no.
You didn't hear about the 2 fake IDs in the car?
No.
Oh, yeah. Felony in Florida, and they just let it go. So, like, hey, man, fucking cool. But damn, dog, like, hey.
So they are actually doing him a favor. Even with the getting arrested,
like,
they could have been way worse.
Like, if anything, homie, definitely, this is the biggest, like, hey, how this was playing out on Saturday.
Yep.
I think, honest to God, any other person, it's curtains. It's curtains. You might be benched from the team next weekend if you ride for any other team.
No,
dog.
No way.
Your spots, you get caught and they don't let you off. You get a felony.
Oh,
you're not Haiden Deegan. You're just any other guy, and you get a felony for fake IDs. So you are for sure cooked. You're done. It's over.
Yeah.
How do you come back from that?
So
homie's only going to get better because of this. It's only going to be better because he had this happen.
So you're telling me for sure they had fake IDs? Like you've seen that in the actual
Doug,
police
that's what
report.
the police report. If you go to Verb, they outlined the whole thing, and fake IDs are mentioned in the Verb thing with the actual police report. And I guess a local news station did a report on it too. I got to reread it. I was a little caught up in some shit today, but that was definitely said by Verb Moto, which is not like some, dog shit news outlet.
Hey, so what day did this actually happen? Was this Friday night?
Friday night.
Makes sense.
Bro.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Bro, like
we're with the homies. Like
100%.
Just came back from the mall or
Dog,
headed
PCB,
to the mall.
At PCB. No. PCB, dog, you're on spring break in Florida.
Oh,
on the
shit.
beach.
Bro, you know what's funny too? If they probably
on
had
Friday afternoon, he tagged the car at the hotel area that they're setting at. Like R8 posted up in front of it. Everything looks gorgeous. He's just down to clown all weekend, and good for him. Because if I was 19, just like you said, with a pocket full of money, and I look like that, you don't think I'd be getting into some shit rambunctious like all the time?
Yep.
Ty, what'd you think of the guys at the races?
Go ahead.
With the t-shirts already printed. What do you think of the guys at the races with the t-shirts already printed?
Loved it, bro.
Bro, that's so
Those
sick.
guys were legends.
That means we're blowing up. That's all that means. That just means our sport is getting famous enough that is happening instantly.
Literally instantly. Like, good for those guys. They were on it.
Okay, but this is what I want to, because people are like really, like, dude, I heard somebody, they should fire him. He's a role model. Yada, 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 and a bunch of bad comments like, shouldn't be exploiting this, whatever.
Bro, this is so bad. Okay, before you say anything.
What?
This is so bad because I love Brian and Haiden and like the whole Haiden, Deegan squad.
Okay.
But I was like, of course it's Brian Deegan's son, dog. Like,
who else would it be, dog?
Yeah, like if it wasn't for the danger zone, like...
I mean, just straight up. But let me just, I know I'm a Deegan lover. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's great for the sport. I love it. I really do hope that Brian and Mama whoop his ass.
100%.
Whoop his
he
ass.
will.
Take the R8 away for just a little bit. Make him drive in something that don't go over 60. You know what I mean? Because you got to learn your lesson. It's part of the deal. You can't go to jail at 18 and not, get in trouble. And he's getting in trouble. If I know Brian, his ass is in deep shit.
Yeah.
Okay? But.
We're putting the boxing gloves going in the octagon.
Yes. But. Here's the but. For all you people out there talking mad shit, who didn't get in trouble at 18 for some stupid shit? And who should have gotten in trouble. Thank you. Because I've done donuts in a parking lot. I've done donuts in a field. I've jumped the Ranger in the riverbed.
Hey.
You know what I like?
If we were on the real,
did you have a fake ID? Hey, to quote our guy Jaquan, though, you got a fake ID, though?
I mean, I had a real one. I had someone just like me, about 2 years older.
That's what I'm saying. So like, and too, you know, they probably had some trash fake IDs to get in the club because they were trying to pick up on some chicks. This is all assumptions. But like, dude, that's what you're doing at 18 years old a little bit, especially if you got that much money and you're hanging out with like the cool kids. You're going to do some stupid shit that you got to kind of learn from. And that's just the big thing. Do you learn from it? Or do we see Danger Boy going down the wrong path? But I think with Brian and Danger Boy, he's got a decent head on his shoulders.
Like, we know the kid works hard.
Yes.
Like, that's a fact. Fact.
Yes.
Like, the kid puts in work. When he needs to put in work and put in his workout and motos, like, we know he does that.
Let's put it this way. I have no doubt in my mind that if Haiden was going out all night and doing donuts and he knew that he had to be up at 6 a.m. to work out, he would still be up at 6 a.m. to work out.
Yes.
He wouldn't be the kid that stays up till 1 o'clock in the morning doing donuts or 2 o'clock in the morning doing donuts and still not show up.
Yeah.
Haiden will go out till 2 o'clock in the morning. He knows the consequences, and then he's going to show up to work and put the work in the rest of the week.
100%.
Yo, let me say this. Back at, I think it was like one of Anaheim, right? Anaheim 2. Brian's coming down the tunnel, and I think it was San Diego was right before that. And did you see, it was either like an Instagram story or a Snapchat of Haiden at some house party right after the San Diego Supercross on Saturday night. And like, wasn't out there a lot, but he was definitely at a party.
Yeah.
And they kept it under wraps. But I saw Brian on Saturday. I haven't told this to anybody other than my old lady.
Yeah.
But I stopped Brian and I'm like, hey, it's cool you let him do that. Like, you need to let him do that. He is a 19-year-old kid. Like, I know I ain't going to go run my mouth and hype it up and like trash your kid. Like, I'm not going to blow your kid out. This is a different one because homie got caught. It's public record now. Like, I wouldn't say this story if he didn't get arrested the other night. Yeah. But I told Brian, it's cool that you let him go do that because he needs to go do that. He needs to go live a real life. Like, are you going to make him a robot and just hate everything? Yeah. He's got to learn. He's got to go do this stuff. And like, what is the point of all of this? What is the point of him being this popular and having 1 million followers and not trying to live like these guys do? Because guess what, man? There was a handful of NFL players. I just have it on my Instagram doing the same shit in rented Lamborghinis and Ferraris, racing up and down the street in Miami this weekend too. But they didn't get arrested. But there's a fine line that I think this gets into. You know, this is something that me and my wife were talking about on the way home from Birmingham. I don't know that our sport knows how to take controversy sometimes. You know, like, because there's not that much for how many people it is. And like a lot of blue collar people, a lot of people like just to straight up admit it, have DUIs, have something against them, have some kind of little record or anything like that. But it never gets blown out into the public spotlight. But when it does, it's interesting to see how the public reacts. Yeah, especially people that you know also don't live in glass houses.
Yes. Yeah. And it's really gnarly, and I think that's backlash.
And it's an interesting thing to see, like, you know, we want our sport to be on the next level, but like, this is next level controversy that happens in sports. How many NFL players get arrested for DUIs or drinking or having a gun in the car or a bag of dope that they didn't need to have? How would we react if that happened in our sport? You know, and like, realistically, that is something that if you want to take it to the next level, that kind of thing is going to happen. It's unavoidable.
Well, I think it also happens with the amount of money that the riders are making.
Yeah.
But yo, dog, there can be people with $5 in their pocket that are still causing trouble.
Hey,
you know?
That's true.
Like, same thing.
Very true.
Same thing. Like, it's just, I think for what our sport is, what our demo is, we do a very good job of staying out of trouble. There's never really a lot of controversy that you hear about anybody. Like, yes, there are people like when there were races in Canada, there were certain mechanics that couldn't go because they had DUIs and you can't cross the border. Yeah. But that doesn't make them bad people. But that just goes to show, like, everybody's got a little stain somewhere. You know, how do we accept each other's stains?
Yeah, but like look at what I'm looking at. Even though, like, I know that probably, you know, Brian is pretty pissed and mom and dad are pretty pissed at Haiden. But in the hindsight, 18-year-old doing donuts in a parking lot with a couple fake IDs, with no beer, no nothing, no vape, no like hard drugs. You're not You're not DUI.
Yeah, they weren't
you're not
powdered sugar donuts.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing. They were just doing donuts in a parking lot, probably getting on TikTok.
And trying to get with some older chicks that were at the club.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's not that bad for what is around there these days.
I mean, let's just put it this way. Let's tell you Daddy Deuce's story. Okay? 18. Parents gave me a manual 5.0 GT Mustang. That was their wedding car. Okay? I think it was like a 95. Had Holley carburetors, straight pipes, the whole 9 yards.
Barely. Hey, you had to run that thing at like 40 to make that 50.
Yes.
Make that thing
just
bark.
even do something.
Uh-huh.
First gear, we're going 50 miles an hour in the GT 5.0. Okay? What? 5 tickets in a month? Lost my license. Same month I got the car.
Hey, and that's, folks, is how I got my license.
Yes. That's how Ty got his license. 5 tickets in a month.
Yeah.
You know what? Deuce doesn't speed anymore. I'm one of the slower drivers on the road. Okay? That's the way it is. You live. I had to pay probably $6,000 in fines that I had to work at, the fence company, the parents' fence company to get done.
Figured out what an SR22 is.
I figured out what an SR22 is. Yep. And now I'm chilling and I drive the speed limit. And sometimes, you get put in situations with an Audi R8 and it's looking real tempting to go do some donuts in the parking lot with your buddies on TikTok. And sometimes you got to get caught to learn a little bit.
Yeah. It's not bad.
Right?
Yeah.
We got a racer got caught street racing and stunt driving and sliding a car. A racer's going to race, bro.
A racer's going to race.
I don't know what to tell you. You need to, if I'm Brian Deegan, dude, I got him in a freaking hatchback, 4-speed thing, pinned, shake so gnarly you don't want to go over 62.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pave like 100-yard by 100-yard square out in North Carolina with a whole bunch of trees.
Where you can do a bunch of donuts.
Where you can do a bunch of donuts.
No, that's what Star needs to do, bro. At the Carmichael thing, hey, dude, Haiden, no more, bro. We got you a 100-foot by 100-foot spot. So you can do all the donuts you want to do, bro.
Yeah. We'll have drift wars, bro.
Oh, that's great. Oh, my gosh.
I love it. Hey, can I say one more thing, kind of talking about the T-shirts and all that? Adam, did you see the 2 girls with Sexton and Kitchen painted on their jeans this weekend?
No, but I would have loved to see it.
I really like what we're seeing as far as like younger people and making their own merch and stuff like that. Like, they sell merch at the races and everything, but it's really cool to see what people are buying and making to show how much they care about moto. Like these girls hand painted Sexton 4
it's commitment.
In orange, black, and white. It's commitment and it's love for it, know? And like these are 2 young girls and they were dressed up to the nines with the girls out and everything. They were made up for their day at Supercross and they were ready for it. And that's cool. And just like those dudes in the cowboy hats that are on everybody's Instagram, they stopped at the mall and paid $25 to have that mugshot put on a wrinkly T-shirt so they could wear it all day. That's tight. That is tight. And we need to loved it. Center of attention all day. Heroes of the Birmingham Supercross.
Without a doubt.
And like, we have to figure out how we tap more into that. There's a lot of young kids that really, really like Supercross that are trying to make it their thing that don't want to just buy the same T-shirts and all this stuff. And like, it's a cool time right now. And the racing is great. Like get with it.
It'd be so sick if Supercross played into it. And then we had an opening ceremony with Deegan. And Deegan was doing donuts in his R8 in the parking lot, and the cops were chasing him down. And then that's how he came in on opening ceremony.
Like running from the cops into the stadium.
Yeah.
Like they couldn't get him. Bro, I'm telling you, they got to put us on the payroll, bro.
Hey,
our ideas are top notch.
Hopped on the bike and then...
hopped on the bike and pinned it out of the star rig so he didn't get busted. Oh, and 2... Thor, dude. I know I'm sponsored by Thor still. We have to get a orange jumpsuit set of gear for my boy Deegan. Like, have to. Like, if you don't do that, we're missing the boat. Like, even just a one-off set.
Right? It'd be sick.
It'd be
a epic showdown set in Salt Lake City.
Yes. Just jailbird orange with like a ball and chain on his boot.
I would say this orange top and then like black and white stripes on the bottom.
Whatever it is, just capitalize. All right, boys. You got a little bit more time, Anton, or you got to get off?
Oh, no, I'm good. I'm here.
Okay,
as long as you
cool,
need me.
perfect. All right, well, let's get into the 450, the highlights 450 class, sponsored by Dirt Tricks. Get 300 to 500 hours. Actually, Ty, do you even know? We don't even know how many hours.
It's
To
be determined.
Yeah, two adventure bikes. One of them which had 50,000 miles on it. And then he put it on his new adventure bike of the same make and model and is still running the same rear sprocket.
True story.
Still hasn't worn it out.
Yep.
Still going.
Yep.
Dirt Trick sprockets. Go to dirttricks.com at checkout. Type in Track Talkers 25.
It's the best discount you're going to get anywhere for Dirt Trick sprockets.
Yes, it's the only discount.
It's the only discount.
There you go. Get a Dirt Trick sprocket today. Yeah, let's I think the big thing that we got to talk about for the 450 class is the orange starts.
I text you mid-race. I was like, bro, they figured something out.
And they said
I think BS.
Dude, Chase Sexton in the post-race press conference said, my starts were so bad before I left on Thursday that my dad walked away.
Yeah, he said, we're just done.
We're just done. I walked away.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's what we got to do.
Yeah.
Whatever that recipe is for Aaron Plessinger and Chase Sexton. Because, dude, if they can do that, they will, I don't want to say they will not be beat, but their odds go up tremendously.
Yes.
I mean, that is really the key to Supercross.
Those are facts.
We talk about it time and time again. Like, dude, Vince Freeze made a career off getting good starts.
I know,
if he didn't have good starts, would we know Vince Freeze like we know him now?
No, definitely not. But that's why getting starts are so hard, because you have to be in that state every single time. Or not every single time, but at that moment, at that second, when that gate drops, you have to be ready for it. And if you want it too bad, you're almost delayed and then you fuck it up.
Yeah, but I think AP had a good point too in the post-race press conference.
He wanted to win and he wanted to be up front and he belonged up front and he said you could will it.
Yes. And it's so true, dude. It's something about like when you think you should be up front winning the race,
you put yourself
getting
there.
a good start is so much easier, dude.
Yes.
Like for me, shit ass start in the LCQ, and then I could pull out a top 5 in the freaking or in the heat, shit ass start. And then in the LCQ, I could pull out a top 5 because I knew that's where I had to be.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't the best at starts by any means, but when I knew I had to do it, I believed it because I knew that I could beat those guys and I could get it done. Especially when I had a decent gate pick from the heat race.
I wish I had more stats on your racing career, because I remember a lot of LCQs that you rode into the position.
Dude, too fucking many. Too many, dude.
Yeah.
Way too many.
There's very few that I can even
Hey, I whole shotted in Poto. It was in Toronto. What's up, dude? I got that whole shot.
You got like 12.
Dude, it doesn't matter. I got that whole shot. No, I made the main in Toronto.
Yeah, I got
the whole shot.
I'm pretty sure that's the one he was so sick he didn't even practice.
Yeah, he didn't practice, and they gave him like I don't know what they gave him.
Opening ceremonies lap.
No, the opening ceremonies lap.
No, it was like
they gave him like a free pass to the night show.
Well, no, there's a rule in the AMA rule book that if you're in top 10 in the championship points, you're automatically qualified or something.
Bro, they be making up shit for those top 5 guys. I swear. They just be pulling shit out of it.
Bro, it's Poto.
Like, I bet you, I know it is, but I'll bet you, like, if I was like 2 million when I was racing Supercross on Instagram and bringing in all the fans, they'd be like, yeah, Antic Nap, he was in the main last week, so he gets a free ride to the night show.
Get out of here. They wouldn't do that for your ass.
They pull, dude, if you're the right guy, they pull strings.
No.
I don't know. Put it down in the comments. All right. KTM is getting great starts. I think that's the key, obviously, to Aaron Plessinger's success. Aaron Plessinger's ride, what did we think of that? I thought the first moto was just fantastic.
Bro, he's back on track.
Back on track.
This is AP we know and love.
This is the AP we thought we were going to get at A1.
Yeah, let's get it, bro. I can see AP winning now.
I mean, what are you seeing from AP that's making this happen? I'm just seeing confidence, right? Like him riding forward.
Bro, that's it. Like he's literally attacking the track. Looks like he belongs there. And when you look like he belongs there, that means he knows that he belongs there.
Okay. Give me a little deeper, Uncle Ty.
What?
Like, dude, what makes him look like he belongs there? To me, it's that he's riding forward.
Yes, he's riding forward and he has a ton of confidence.
Yeah, but dude, it's like seen
like
that
people
switch.
but people don't understand like how fragile some of these guys are.
Yeah.
It literally could be a setting here or there, a couple good weekends. Like I was hoping that we were going to see this sooner.
Weren't we all?
You know,
Weren't
especially with how last year started with AP, you know, being up front, red plate holder, getting the win in San Diego.
Yep.
Like, I don't know why it took him so long to get here.
Yeah. Anything else in the 450 class? Shane McElrath rode freaking phenomenal in those first couple races. Wow.
Yeah. Quad lock Honda, dog.
Quad lock Honda is finding something special.
Yeah.
Anybody else we should mention?
What about Christian Craig on his first race back?
Bro, typical.
What did I say? 12 to 15, bro.
What do you get?
I don't know. You got like 11, 15, 12.
Bro, all I know, dude, it's hard. I like Christian Craig. He's such a good person. Okay? I don't ever want
I was pretty close. 11, 15, 13.
Okay, I don't want anybody to ever think that I don't think Christian Craig is a great, great person. Okay? But
you're about to say some messed up stuff.
I am. But when you're on Star Racing Yamaha and Jerry Robin is hunting you down, I don't care if you came back or what you did, you got to do better than that.
Yeah, but look at, what do we know about Christian Craig? Okay, it takes him a while to find his confidence, find his groove, but when he does,
he's
that groove,
insane.
That groove literally is top notch, like top 5 anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
And that's the ceiling he has. That's why he has that ride.
100%. I mean, to me this weekend, he just looked so fucking out of shape. It's insane. But that's just because he's riding tight at the first one. I know that it's not that he's out of shape. He's just riding tight.
It's his first race back mid-season.
1,000%.
Like,
and that's why I said that. I know he's not out of shape. Look at the guy.
Yeah.
Look at him. He just rode really, really, really tight those last, or even it probably started in the morning because, man, he looked sketchy in practice. Like he was fast, but he looked like he was holding on for dear life. And it probably just tired him out throughout the day. And he just rode, tight. And he was exhausted. There was nothing he could do. He had no fight because he was exhausted from riding tight, in my opinion, which is good because that means he's going to get quite a bit better as the season goes on. But when you come back and you're on a Star Racing Yamaha, you shouldn't, in my eyes, you should be better than, what Jerry Robin can put down. And that's no diss on Jerry Robin because Jerry Robin is very, very fast. But dude, that Star Racing Yamaha ride, I mean, Eli Tomac. Okay. Cooper Webb. And then you're talking Justin Cooper.
Yep.
Which is multiple fastest qualifiers. And if he could skim the whoops like, Ken Roxon, he would win all the time. So when you got Christian Craig on the same exact team, you just have those expectations of those guys.
Yep.
And it's like, dude, we know what the bike can do.
Well, absolutely. And then let's just move on from this. I'm going to move the conversation into a different route, though. Christian Craig, I think, is just need times. But with that
he needs time.
With that being said, he's practicing with Justin Cooper. He's practicing with Cooper Webb.
Yep.
And then what I heard, too, that Justin Cooper this last week was getting taught, or Justin Brayton came out to the Star Racing facility and was helping Justin Cooper with his whoops So hopefully that is
Dude, let's go. That was the best move of his career.
Hopefully JB comes out more than just once or twice or once. But with that being said, that means Justin Cooper is addressing it. And I really thought I was putting Justin Cooper on the podium this weekend, and his result kind of let me down. So hopefully he kind of have a bounce back weekend in Seattle.
Yep. What do you think, Anton? What's the whole deal?
Oh, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, hit me.
Both of you guys on the J Coop thing with him working with JB on the whoops. Like I said earlier, that he was the first guy to do that big quad on press day.
Yeah.
Why is it that doing the whoops, like you guys, please explain as racers, why is it less scary to do, I'm going to be 45 feet in the air. I'm going to be the guy to feel this out. I'm not going to be the first guy to skim this set of rollers. What's the headspace around that?
You want to go first or am I?
I'll go first because I wasn't a good whoop rider.
Okay.
I think whoops are way scarier than jumping a quad. I'd much rather jump a scary quad than hitting a curb set, just gnarly set of whoop sections all day. Because when you're not confident in the whoops, you do not know what is going to happen when you go into your whoops, and then you can get settled in like halfway through and get out.
Yeah.
Your jumps, you've hit jumps your whole entire life. And if you can feel the jump and you can kind of see yourself making it, 95% of the time, you're making that jump. It's just you got to sack up and just be relaxed when you hit it.
Yeah.
Period. The whoops, you can come in and you could think you have all the confidence in the world, but you don't know really if you're going to be all right in that whoop section until you're 3 or 4 whoops in.
Yeah. I mean, to sum up what Ty's saying, I think just to simplify it for you guys, if I do a quad once, I got that shit 20 laps in a row, no problem. I'm not even thinking about it.
Yeah.
When I do the whoops, every lap for 20 minutes, I'm like, I could die. Like, I could eat shit this lap. I could eat shit this lap.
Yes.
I could eat shit this lap. Every single time you go into the whoop section, you could eat shit. Where like when I'm hitting the quad, I'm like, yep, yeah, did that before.
Yeah.
You don't even
it's
think
so
about it.
consistent.
You don't even think about it doing a quad. You've done it, so you did it. With a whoop section, it's different every single time to the point where you don't know what is going to happen.
And why it's such a big deal learning how to skip whoops. Like, I didn't even get to the level that I was even close as mastering whoops. But like, Addy, you can kind of talk about, but using the clutch in the whoops is like, I've heard is a game changer. I never even got to that level where I could use the clutch in the whoops. But I found I was good enough to make it through.
Yeah. Like, I think the hardest part about a whoop section is that you have to go fast, like really, really fast, and then you have the edges. So you have to make sure the rear shock is soft enough to where when the track is really edgy, that your bike doesn't kick out, and then you trust that part of it. Then once you trust that part of it, people just think that, oh, whoops are all about, just committing to it, right? Well, if you can hit the whoop at the exact same height on every single one, then that will traject or launch your bike to the exact same height on the next one. So the minute you get even an inch higher or an inch lower on a whoop, then it sends you a little higher on the next whoop, which then doesn't get the pop off that whoop. Then you're down in the next whoop, and then you start to get that back and forth teeter-totter that you see Hampshire get, and that is so hard to save.
And that's why cup whoops are so hard.
Yes.
Because your rear tire, if you're not fast enough on cup whoops and you're not hitting the top of the cup and your rear wheels in the cup, it gets too much traction and your bike will go into a slight wheelie, and that's where that front end goes up and over the next one.
Yes. So what I did, I was really good in the whoops. I'm just whatever. I always used my clutch in the whoops, and I would just come out. I would drop third gear pinned. I would just drop the clutch
Mhm.
and then, or I'd hit fourth, depending on if I had a jump before the corner.
Yep.
And I would literally hold it wide open, drop the clutch, get as much speed as I possibly could, put it to the lock, and then I would use my clutch to pop up onto that second and third one where I could get so light on the tip of it and I had enough speed, and then I would kind of work the clutch to where every single one I hit, I could get it exactly to the right height on the next one. And so you're just kind of taking the speed away from your front wheel or your rear wheel drive, and you're letting it go and you're giving it and you're letting it go and you're tightening it up and letting it go to make sure that that bike is launching to the next whoop at the exact height that you want it to do. And it happens in milliseconds. And you have to, but the big thing is if you don't trust that rear end to stay straight, you're pretty much dead in the water.
Yeah. And whenever I felt like the best in whoop sections, I learned my line in the whoops like I learned a rhythm section.
Yes, exactly.
Because you knew exactly.
Exactly.
You knew exactly which whoop was tall, you knew exactly which whoop was low, and you knew exactly which whoop was spread out. Because as much as they looked exactly the same,
They're
a
totally
few
different.
inches could mean the world of difference.
Yep.
And that's where when I started realizing that's when I started getting better at Dragon's Back.
Yes. It's all about timing. People think it's all about how fast you come into the whoops. People think it's all about
That's why it's
just
so
committing.
hard. That's
No,
why it's so hard for these people to change lines in the whoops, because you learn that line like a fucking whole entire rhythm section.
It's like you're memorizing it.
Yes. And you're anticipating what is what. Lower, higher, separated, or not separated.
Yep. All right. Well, let's move on. Wow, this is a long show. Stan Benson Racing 250 highlights. Let's zoom through this. If you need anything in the Bakersfield area, go to Stan Benson Racing. Get your ETS fuel, your Pirelli tires. If you're at the race like Oatfield, you can go to Stan Benson Racing. Get hooked up at the track. 250 highlights. Tom Vialle, tractor diesel.
Seth Hammaker, real fast,
Fast.
should have won.
Real fast, should have won. Okay, are we worried about Seth Hammaker, or was that?
No.
Okay, we're not worried about Seth Hammaker whatsoever.
We just had a minor mistake. Should have went 1-1-1-1.
Yep, and even though he got a hot lap, still made the mistake. I think it was just chaos. We're chalking it up to that. Right, Anton?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think RJ needs to do to get back in this championship? I mean, not to get back in this championship, but to get close the gap on Tom Vialle. Do you think he's on the right track?
He's just got to get a win.
And he's got to he's got to win, like Anton said. He's got to have a good race at the showdown. That's
Don't you think that's going to be hard for RJ to do with Seth Hammaker
Oh, yeah.
and Nate Thrasher in the mix?
Oh, yeah.
I think Nate Thrasher is going to definitely poke it in a few rounds, maybe even be a top 3 guy on the way out. So it's like,
Yeah.
is RJ going to be consistent enough?
Yeah, I mean, he's always there. He's always
I
there.
know what I said was very basic, he's got to win, duh.
Mhm.
You know, but Tom's not winning. Tom is not winning. So the only thing, it's a 10-point deficit between the two of them. So 3 points here, 3 points here, 3 points here. There's 5 races left. 2 of them are showdowns. It's not just going to be 3 points between the two of them. And it's the 250 East Coast region. Somebody's going to have a wild night where they get a 7th out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I understand that, but the reality of it, he has to just start finishing ahead of Tom, and Tom's finishing second and third. So RJ's got to just tap into that pure speed that he has.
Yeah.
I mean,
is Tom a good mud rider?
probably he's European.
Pretty good.
He's pretty good. I just can't remember him. I don't remember him winning any mud races for some reason.
I know this
Birmingham last year was because remember
was
Haiden
kind of
got
a
all
soft,
Yep.
Yeah, soft because the track was all changed and stuff and all of that. And, I think that's another thing we didn't ask this question, but it is a reality. If Tom wins this championship, 450 class next year. It's on. He did his 2 titles. He's out.
He's 450 class no matter what.
No, he gets one more if he doesn't win this one.
No. You win your champ. Yes, you win your championship. You get 1 year to defend no matter what it is. If you lose or
Dude, we're gonna have to check.
And then 450, because that's what happened to Colton Nichols. He won his championship.
Yeah, but
then he went to go defend, and then he crashed in the first round. unless they changed it. But I thought that was still
I'm pretty sure they changed it. I'm pretty sure they changed it because in the last time that all the stuff came up, like the last rewrite of the 250 eligibility rules, because this is why Triumph was trying to get Joey a pass. Like, see, if you're not going to point out anymore if it's only by championships, and then the championship defense thing was like, yes, you could win one, but if you don't want it the next year, you get one more try. I could be wrong on that. Ty, if you're right, and Tom does have to move up, and nobody's talked about that, that is another massive factor in the 450 class free agency thing, because is KTM going to let their guy go? Because that's Tom.
Dude, it can't be, because nobody's talking about that.
It can't be, because nobody talked about that.
No.
Yeah.
And two, not to diss on Tom, but that fool needs at least another year in 250.
Another
maybe
year.
2.
Yeah.
He is not ready for a 450.
Swear.
He is not ready to go against Cooper Webb and Chase Sexton.
I'm not saying that. I just swear I thought that was the rule. I thought you had to. I
think
you
it
won
was
the
the rule.
You won the championship. You
it
get
was at
1 year
one
to
point.
defend, and then you're up.
Yeah,
No, you're right, Ty. It was that at one point, but I'm pretty sure it changed.
Okay, well, we'll get that. We'll get that on our Instagram, or we'll get that on the show next week. Because
I mean, they're gonna let us know in the comments, dude.
Yeah, they are.
Truth tellers.
Yep, in the comments, we're gonna find out. Anything else in the 250 class? Oh, we got to get it shut. We got to give a shout out, another shout out to Mumf Dog.
Oh, Carson
Putting
Mumford
on the freaking race of his life in those first 2 motos. We really do hope he's okay and he'll be back after. Is it a 2-week break or 1-week break?
2 weeks. Is it? They're not racing in
work
Seattle.
weeks.
You're right. One weekend.
2 work
No, 1 week.
weeks.
Yeah, this week, and then they go back for Boston.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully Mumford gets better. Rode awesome. Anything else on the 250, Anton?
I thought it was cool that Daxton Bennett got the fastest lap in free practice, and then as soon as he crossed the finish line, RJ stopped up next to him and shook his hand and congratulated him, because that was a nice little like, yo, good job, dude.
Yeah.
And Daxton's dad was hyped because I could hear him screaming in the stadium, come on, 34.
That's awesome.
That's
Dax,
sick.
dude,
Dax is starting to rip.
I was so bummed for Dax when he got hurt. Like, when I heard that stuff after Tampa, I was so bummed because, dude, he was flying in Tampa. I was like, dude, Dax could be championship contender.
Yeah.
Like, but he'll get there. He definitely has the potential.
Yes, he does.
Tough night for Dax, though.
He had some moments, though.
Yeah, for sure. Without a doubt. Anything else, boys? 250?
Nope.
Nope, I'm good.
All right, a Churbis. Big dub of the weekend. Big L. Who's it going to?
Big Dub's going to Chase, bro. That was
Has
huge.
to. For all the L's we've given him, we got to give him a big dub.
That was astronomical.
Big dub, Chase Sexton. Can we all agree?
Dub. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Chase Sexton, big dub. Who's a big L, Ty?
Max Anstie. My boy, dude. I felt like this was his championship. All he had to do was just... I felt like he would have been ripping in Alabama.
I know. He looked good in practice, too.
Did he?
Yes.
I was like so pumped with like the week off. He'd be all healthy, fresh, just ready to go. And just
He was. He looked
little
healthy and fresh. He looked good.
yeah, just a little missed time, and that's all she wrote.
Who's your big L for the weekend, Anton?
I'd say Max or Jason, just because Jason got shuffled around and what could have been a really, really good night got put down to nothing, so just move on to the next one.
Yep. It's tough. That's tough. I mean, honestly, my big L, unfortunately, my boy, KEN ROCZEN. Just thought it was, I know he did good this weekend, but it just feels like it's slipping.
Yeah.
It feels like it's slipping right now. And I'm trying to hang on to it. And it just feels like it's like there's just those things happening where it's slipping away.
I don't know. I thought you rode phenomenal
Dude,
from the circumstances. Circumstances.
He did ride phenomenal, but I would have loved to see him get at least third so we could have got something back on Webb.
Yeah.
It was like it was the night when we needed to get back on Webb. We needed a few points on Webb. We could have got him. And it was like, and it's like not his fault necessarily that I'm giving him the L because he got hurt, and he rode good for being hurt. Like he rode phenomenal for being hurt. But It's slipping.
You're not making a good case for yourself.
Yeah, but it's slipping.
Okay.
How do you guys feel about KEN ROCZEN winning the championship now after this weekend?
Bro, it's almost non-existent.
Yeah.
It's a two-headed, it's a 2-horse race right now. I mean, there's mathematically he's still really in it.
He is.
But, it's up to him.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like if you have that shoulder dinger, I think the big L goes to the shoulder dinger.
Yeah, but I mean, it depends on he can get it back pretty good in a week, I feel like.
He'll be safe in third.
Yeah.
He should be safe in third.
That's what I mean, though. Like, he'll be safe in third for sure, but like, dude,
you were thinking that he was going to make a run to
but this was his year to win the championship. I don't think next year he has this in him. Do you guys?
Yeah.
I mean, just like with the scenario of so many guys being out and then how feisty he looked and just comfortable on the bike. Like, hey, man, really happy with this current iteration, the suspension package I'm working with, all that. Yeah, I agree. Because it's looking at the points, 211 for Cooper, 203 for Chase, 184 for KEN, and that's a pretty big gap.
This was like Chad Reed 2012 or 2013, whatever that year was.
Yeah.
He was on
at Dallas when he got hurt. Or San Diego.
Yeah.
Dude. And it was like KEN ROCZEN's never got that 450 title, and he so should have one with how good he is.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like it was like, this could be the craziest year for Suzuki, craziest year for him.
Mm-hmm.
And it felt like this weekend, I'm hanging on. I am hanging on.
We got it.
But it definitely slipped away more than I wanted it to.
I mean, he was still in there. He still got top 5.
He did.
So.
But we can't get top 5s.
Mm-mm.
We got to win.
When Webb's getting 4th.
When Webb's getting 4th, we needed to capitalize on the points leader.
Mm-hmm.
And when CHASE SEXTON's now getting hot.
Yep.
We needed wins.
Mm-hmm.
But like we said earlier, in Supercross, you never know what can happen.
Anything can happen.
I know this, and I don't. Nope, I'm not even gonna say it. Okay,
nope.
Moving on. Thank you, Turbis. Best plastic in the game. California Coast Plumbing in the trenches. Who is it,
bro? My boy Jason Anderson in the trench.
Bro, he's been in the trench though, dude.
Dude, he's deep in it. Deep.
Okay, what does he got to do to get out? What are we gonna do to flip it around,
bro?
Okay, let's talk about this.
Jason
Anderson's problem?
Bro,
what do we think this is? He
needs to either get fried for ayahuasca or he needs to have I think I'm kind of leaning towards like this race. I know all the focus is on Chase and Cooper, but this race I feel like is kind of a breaking point for Jason Anderson. Like, he got taken out twice in one night by 2 separate guys. And crashed on the first lap on a rhythm section. Bro, Jason in his head, he's looking, if he watches this race even back, he probably doesn't need to, but he's probably like in his, to himself, he's like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
Bro, that is not Jason Anderson. You do not do that. What are we doing? We need to be in the moment, attacking, being loose, letting that thing hang out.
In the moment, bro, not worried about nothing else but
bro, that's his style.
Yep.
Like,
loose.
You loose, let it hang out.
Bro,
rolling.
Right back to what we talked about on the show. Maybe Ando needs to throw a hat on backwards. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, we're not seeing himself. We're not seeing the Jason Anderson we know. We're not seeing loose, hang it out.
Jason Anderson relaxes. Like, I would love to see him in just like a 2XL, like fried hoodie out there putting in qualifying. Just
imagine, bro. Hoodie Ando. That's what we need, bro.
We need a
jersey, just an Alpenstar collab hoodie.
Yes, this is his plain color with fried, and it's his normal kit, but just a 2XL hoodie.
Bro, did we just come up with like the next hottest trending
He's that guy.
Gear set?
And he would get like fastest qualifier, whole shot,
dude, you know how these guys wear vests to stay warm? Imagine if we made like racing hoodies that were like cotton, but were jerseys.
No, bro. We don't need to go that far. Just fried hoodie,
A-star. Jeff, where you at, bro? This is the next hottest trending thing. Imagine all the urban kids that would be pulling up in these things. Imagine all the freaking people in the stands that would buy them.
If you were talking about urban, dude, you put Realtree Outdoor on there, dude. Fucking some
Realtree Alpenstar collab sweatshirt jerseys,
and then
bro.
put some fluorescent orange on there and be good.
Not like a jersey that's like that thin material.
No, I want
like
straight a hoodie.
Yes, a hoodie, bro, with some vents in it.
No vents, dude. This is winter riding.
Bro, how many $1 million ideas do we have to come up with in one show?
We're gonna be trademarking, dude.
Anton, is this $1 million idea or are we tripping, bro?
Dog, have we ever had a bad idea? Ask yourself, have you really had a bad idea?
Facts, bro. All right, let's finish this show off since it's running forever.
I would love to see Jason Anderson in a hoodie in qualifying. Do it in free practice so no one even knows, just like a vibe setter.
Ando, get in the hoodie, bro. We need you back, dog. Hoodie Ando, that's what we need. Free practice.
I saw it on the fried freaking press release, dude. We just need to ride like that, one practice.
That's it. Let's go.
If he gets on the podium, I hope he throws on a fried hoodie.
Bro, why not just do it in the first race? You know, one of these races coming up, it's going to be cold.
Because I think it's against AMA because they have to have that AMA and FIM.
Put it on.
Or not AMA or Supercross.
Yeah, iron on it.
Stick it on, dog.
Yeah,
Get a hoodie and stick it on and have nothing else but fried with like a little A-star under it.
And a Monster Energy.
And a big 21 on the back. No, put the Monster on the arm, dog. Like on the sleeve or like on the side of the hoodie.
On the hood.
Yes, on the hoodie, bro.
I would be down for
Tell me Ando wouldn't be
because then it's kind of like the helmet.
Yeah.
Tell me Ando wouldn't be ripping in a hoodie.
Bro, Ando would be ripping in a hoodie. He would feel such at home.
Oh, it'd be like the old days, bro.
Yeah.
He would be, yeah, you're right. He'd be so relaxed. How could you not be relaxed in a hoodie?
Roost wouldn't hurt because you're in this thick ass hoodie.
And it's cold outside.
Oh.
And everybody else is freezing, but we're in our nice cotton hoodie.
Yeah. Chilling.
After the race, like eating like a cup of tomato soup with a grilled cheese, like in a hoodie.
Oh my God. Too far. Too far.
All right.
We'll just leave it at the hoodie.
Yeah, the hoodie. Okay. X brand. Does the zebra keep his stripes? Let's finish this thing out, dude.
Hey, you know who's making some new important stripes right now?
Who?
Our boy Chase. Why we have our hats on backwards right now? Because he's turning around his season and putting the most important stripes on his back right now. And we're going to see if they're the real deal and if he's going to put the pen to the paper next weekend in Seattle and keep on going.
I mean, does he do it? That's what we're here for, right? Anton, I want you to go first, bro. Does he do it? I don't want you to hear none of what me and Ty are about to say. What do you think?
Honestly, I don't know. Because on Saturday afternoon...
That's not your job. Your job is a professional insider.
I'm getting
okay.
Waffle.
I'm getting there. Hold on.
Okay,
on Saturday, I was like, oh, man, it's Chase in it. Like, he'll be good. He'll be this. He'll be that. When I noticed the part, like, no bullshit. When I noticed that part wasn't on the suspension anymore and I talked to the team, I was like, oh, okay, that's progress. Like, that is definitely whatever it is, mentally, physically, making the bike better, whatever. That's progress. So he should be pretty good. I'm interested to see how these next few weeks go because I think it's going to be like full balls in the wall between both of them. I hate to waffle, say I don't know. I've thought this is Coop's thing since Paris Supercross in November of last year. I thought that this was going to be his championship, even when it was just him and Jet going against each other.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see how Chase reacts to this.
Yeah.
You know, like this is his test. This is what you live for as an athlete. So it is time to put up or shut up.
Well, Mike, that's super cool what you just said.
I understand I didn't answer. Does he change his stripes?
Yes. Is this stamped for the rest of the season and he's going to go on a run right now? Or are we going to see more waffling?
I don't think he's going to go on a run, but I don't think it's going to be like a complete blowout. I think it's going to get close until the very, very end. I really do. I think he's going to have at least like one more little thing where you're wondering like what happens. And I think Coop's going to have something happen too, where it's going to stay pretty close. And we go into Denver like, oh shit. I don't think that it's going to be like a big blowout one way or another. Did I still not answer?
Not really, but we'll give you that one.
All right, you go.
Okay.
I'm checking something.
All right. Okay. We know Chase is good in mutters. I think this is my prediction, okay? If we get one mutter,
Bro, we are so connected right now.
You're 5 days away from a mutter.
dude, I know we are so connected, bro. We think exactly the same. If we get the mutter, Chase wins the championship. If we don't, it's gonna be. I'm not even gonna say it.
So,
You know what's gonna happen.
So I'm looking at the Seattle weather right now.
Let's go.
We got Wednesday 60% chance.
Of rain.
Thursday 80% chance.
Of rain.
Friday 75% chance.
It's gonna be a mutter, boys.
But then Saturday it's just cloudy.
It
And
doesn't
Sunday
matter,
is
dog.
sunny.
It's gonna be insane.
I know. I just don't like Dirtworks does a phenomenal job somehow, but like if it's not going to be a crazy mutter if it's not raining on Saturday though.
Dude, it's not gonna be a mutter. It's how many days was it of rain?
Well, right now it's raining.
It started today.
It started today, but Tuesday tomorrow is they're going to have to get the track built because then Wednesday
In the
through
mud.
Friday.
So either way, the track is gonna be peg dragging
Yes.
ruts all the way around it.
Yes, Wednesday is not raining until later. Thursday is kind of spotty,
Now I don't know
and
if
then
that
Friday
plays into
it's going to
Coop.
get hammered.
I don't know if that plays into Coop or that plays into
Oh, it's not even
Chase.
going to rain that much. It's
Oh,
only
it's not.
0.2 on Friday.
But cumulatively over the week, it's over an inch and a half.
Yeah, but,
which
but that's
in
not
most places
that's-
is not a lot. But
that's not a lot.
Seattle, it's a lot. But Seattle is a lot because it's some pretty shitty dirt.
Yeah, but that dirt is like almost like recycled base almost.
I know this sounds messed up, but if
Mhm.
it doesn't downpour on
It's not-
Saturday,
it's not-
Coop's
it's not a
probably
mutter.
going to win. Because I think that the advantage goes to Coop if it's super, super, super rutted. There's an advantage. It's going to be harder for Chase. It's going to be harder for Chase to win if it's super, super rutted.
Mhm.
That's kind of what we know, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking if there is some all-out mud fest
Yes, we know what you're talking about. Or
on
I
a
do.
Saturday, then Chase wins the championship.
Right now, it's not going
For
to be a
sure,
mutter.
guaranteed.
Right now, it's not going to be a mutter on Saturday.
But we have a chance for Foxborough to be a mutter.
Yep. We have a chance for rest
Pittsburgh,
of the rest of the rounds.
They're all open.
Yes.
So, yeah, I don't know. I mean,
And two, on the Pat McAfee show,
yep.
Pittsburgh actually gets more rainfall amount per year than it does in Seattle.
Wow. That's insane.
Facts.
Okay. Well, that's something to bring our attention to.
So Pittsburgh might be a mutter.
I don't know. The way, go ahead.
If it was just heads up racing, like if it was race 3, like we saw those guys both like dream scenario, they both get the start. They both just 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. If you see that through the last few rounds, who wins?
Chase.
Like if it's just pure speed, pure racecraft, who wins?
Chase.
Really?
Yeah.
I would give the advantage. If it's straight up head-to-head racing, I would
No, bro. Let me set the scene for you, okay?
set the
Chase
scene.
doesn't have to worry about anybody else but to beat Cooper Webb.
It's true. That makes
Chase-
a big difference.
Chase wins.
We were singing a way different tune 1 week ago or 2 weeks ago.
Well, because he was downward spiraling. And he hit the ground and now he's risen. It's like a goddamn phoenix.
He has risen. That is for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. I seen Cooper Webb in Denver the year he was on, I think, a KTM when it was muddy, but it wasn't muddy.
Mm-hmm.
And him and Tomac were so far gone and going so fast at the end of the season. I've seen Cooper Webb not get hurt and ride at the end of the season. That dude is bad.
Yeah, but remember, like, I think we're finally getting
And
that
he's
chase.
fast.
I feel like we're finally getting that chase and that mode that we've seen with Eli Tomac and Chase Sexton at the end of the outdoor season when Chase was on the Honda.
We only seen it once, bro. Not to quote you, but pen and paper, dog.
I know. Pen to paper matters.
Yo, Ty, did you just say that you're seeing something like some real raw speed from Chase that you saw on the Honda, but you haven't seen in a while?
Yes.
I agree with you. I just, like, when I was watching the race again tonight, he does this thing when he's coming in, like, off those 3-footer jumps, but where he'll get way, way, way over the front of the handlebars, full elbows out. And I mean, I'm talking like his chin is touching the front number plate. And he was doing that a couple times this weekend. And the only times I see him do that was when he is, like, locked in.
Yeah.
And it's not a mistake. It's like pumped in, like we're getting the bike to the ground to charge into this corner as fast as we can. And I agree with you. He is riding to a new level than he had been just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Okay, I know we've been on here for a while, but I had an epiphany last week in the shower when I was thinking about technique.
Yep.
And I talked about it with Jeff Pisano or whatever at Oatfield.
Yeah.
And I don't know why it clicked for me. This might be, I don't know, Michael, just follow, but like, you know how like we're always riding on our balls, our feet?
Yep.
And then we always have to like push our body forward when we're accelerating or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know why it just like clicked for me in like the most simplest fashion of like why everything like came together and making sense, but like balance. Like you're always trying to be balanced on the bike.
Yep.
In a fact of like, you always want to be centered. And if you're out of that balance, like what is your human reaction when you're off balance?
To try to get back to balance.
Survival, right?
Yes.
Nothing else matters at that point as far as like, I'm just trying to become balanced again. And then we can figure out what that is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's everybody's human reaction. I don't care what the fuck you're saying. If someone trips and you are like trying to catch yourself, you're not thinking about anything in that moment than trying to get your next step or trying to put out for something.
Trying to figure out how to get your balance back.
Trying to figure out where to get balance back. I'm going to make everybody learn something a little bit about motocross right now. When you high side in a rut or you're a little off balance, it feels just like that while tripping. You're trying to do everything you can to get balanced and to get corrected so you are centered and balanced again and everything's feeling good. So like what I think with Chase is why he has such a hard time sometimes is because when he's practicing, he's so in tune and so balanced on that bike. But when he wants to go faster, he sometimes goes faster in the wrong spots, what makes him unbalanced. Like he starts driving it in the corner a lot and burying his bike, what creates unbalanced movements, unbalanced bike, unbalanced body. What that creates, your hand starts going forward and starts coming off the throttle.
Yeah.
You know, who's really good at that and creating speed off of balance is Jet. Jet is so good at being good in the right areas and not in the bad areas or in the risky areas where he can still keep his balance no matter what.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I agree with you. It definitely seems like, you know, and that was my problem when I was racing too. I would try to make speed in the wrong spots.
Yeah. And you end up burying your bike. You end up going too far forward here where it puts your body into an unbalanced scenario. Then you're not creating speed. You're creating more effort for you and you get more tired.
Yeah. And too, like, it's like when I would do it, and this took me a long time to learn, when I would do it, I felt good in those sections, so I thought I could get more out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so then I would push it more, and then all of a sudden, I'd get this gnarly kick or something weird would happen. Boom.
You get unbalanced, and then you're afraid for your life.
Yep.
And your throttle goes forward. You get slower.
I mean, that's hard to do though. Going fast enough to then know where that you should be going faster and looking for that speed and not relying on where you feel good is like a very advanced thing on a supercross track.
Well, yeah, no shit, but we're talking about very advanced human beings and very talented human beings. And these human beings, Chase and Cooper, knows the cause and effect of kind of what they need to do, but also keep their balance. And I don't know why it clicked for me in the shower that day, but I was like, oh.
I mean, it makes sense. It's real obvious, but it's like,
yeah, but a lot of people don't like make that comparison
that
as far
connection
of balance.
Yeah.
But like that's why you ride on the balls of your feet. Try if you're on a balancing board, try to put your toes up and balance on your heels.
Good luck.
You're
straight up.
You know what I'm saying?
Right?
You are not.
You are gonna feel special.
Yeah, surf on your heels and try to keep balance on your board.
Bum.
You know what I'm saying? Try to do an ollie on your heels.
You ain't doing it.
Yeah, you ain't doing it, and you're falling because you're off balance.
Yep. Well, to bring it back, Chase Sexton and Cooper Webb are going to battle till the end of the season, and I do think Chase Sexton is going to keep these stripes with the way he was talking, with the confidence that he had. Now, do I give this championship to Chase like you did? Not yet.
I didn't give it to Chase.
You kind of did. Ask Anton. Did Ty give it to Chase or no?
I honestly thought you gave it to Chase more than Ty gave it to Chase for a minute.
Oh,
okay.
Oh!
Okay, we love it. Well,
he ain't smoking the smoke you're smoking.
That's the show, baby. Alabama Supercross Track Talkers. If you haven't, subscribe. Make sure you guys like. We already know you guys are in the comments, but keep on commenting. Tell your friends. Thank you guys so much for coming up to me on the weekend talking about Track Talkers. Check us out on Spotify as well. And follow us on Instagram. We appreciate every single one of you. Track Talkers. Peace.